Thank you for tuning in to Mirror Now. This morning, our top focus. It is day 5 of the Israel-Hamas war, a war that will continue to haunt the people of both Israel and Gaza for ages. Now, after the terror outfit Hamas attacked Israel on the wee hours of October 7, Israel pledged to make it a living hell for Hamas. As the war rages on, support is continuing to pour in for Israel. In the latest, US President Biden pledged to provide massive military aid as a transport plane with advanced American ammunition landed in southern Israel. This is the first US plane carrying ammunition arriving in Israel. Now, Biden said that the US has enhanced the military force posture in the Middle East, while more ammunition and interceptors for the Israel's defense system, Iron Dome, will be sent to Israel. He also called the attack by Hamas an attack of sheer and unadulterated evil and terrorism, while announcing 14 American fatalities in the war zone. Now, as the US amps up support, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken will also visit Israel and hold meeting with the leaders in the coming days. Now, nearly 2,000 lives have been lost on both the sides already. On the other hand, the attacks and the strikes continue. Israeli warplanes hammered the Gaza Strip, reducing buildings to rubble and sending people scrambling to find safety in the tiny, sealed-off territory, which is considered an open-air prison.
You know, there are moments in this life, and I mean this literally, when the pure, unadulterated evil is unleashed on this world. The people of Israel lived through one such moment this weekend. The bloody hands of the terrorist organization Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews. This was an act of sheer evil. More than 1,000 civilians slaughtered, not just killed, slaughtered in Israel. Among them, at least 14 American citizens killed in violation of every code of human morality. It's abhorrent. The brutality of Hamas, these bloodthirstiness brings to mind the worst rampages of ISIS.
Finally, I'd like to announce that Secretary Blinken will be traveling to Israel in the coming days to engage our Israeli partners directly about the situation on the ground and how we can continue to best support them in their fight against the terrorists who launched these horrific attacks. Our support for Israel is unwavering, and the Secretary looks forward to meeting with senior leaders in the Israeli government and continuing the discussions he and the President have been having with them since the initial attacks on Saturday.
और रिलेशनशिप की क्योंकि जिस तरीके से इनके रिश्ते ठीक होते नजर आ रहे थे, हमने देखा कि किस तरीके से अब्राहम अकॉर्ड हुआ था, जिसकी वजह से यूनाइटेड अरब अमीरात की बात करें, बहरीन की बात करें, तो इजराइल एक अच्छे रिलेशन हो रहे थे. अब सऊदी अरब और इजराइल के रिश्ते भी सुलझाने की जो चल रही थी बातचीत, वो भी लगता था कि नॉर्मलाइज होने जा रहे हैं. इसी वजह से लगता है कि हमास से अटैक किया. और दूसरा, चाहता नहीं है कि कुछ यहाँ पे मुल्क है वो चाहते नहीं है कि यहाँ पे मेडिटेरेनियन, इंडिया और अरब कॉरिडोर बने, क्योंकि अगर वो कॉरिडोर बनता है तो यानी कि बॉम्बे में अगर कोई चीज हम शिप में रखते हैं वो जल्दी से जल्दी शिप रूट और ट्रेन रूट से इजराइल पहुंच सकती है. तो ये जो चाइना का जो बेल्ट कॉरिडोर है, बेल्ट रोड इनिशिएटिव,
All right, my colleague Pradeep is reporting from the war zone, Israel. Take a look at this report from the war-torn streets.
Right now we are in Ashkelon area and you can see the streets of Ashkelon where deserted look. Hardly you will find any soul moving except for a few vehicles plying on the road. People are staying indoors, reason being that this area has borne the brunt of shelling and rocket firing by Hamas from day one. And that's one of the reasons that people are staying indoors. Advisory has been issued. They have been asked not to freak out. You will not find even a single person, because almost we are 3 kilometers inside Ashkelon. Not a single soul had been found, except for a few vehicles plying on the road. You will not find any person moving out, because this area had been the most impactful so far as this violence initiated by Hamas is concerned. It was on the Saturday morning the people woke up to the blaring sound of siren. After that, we saw that more than 5,000 rockets were pounded. They pierced through the sky. They landed in the areas which are in the southern Israel. And since then, we have seen the tension between the Hamas and Israel has increased. Israel has already launched counter-offensive. They started targeting many of their hideouts in Gaza Strip. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, has already made it clear that they are going to decimate and demolish each and every hideout of Hamas, and they will raise them to rubble. Let me again ask my video journalist, Sachin Rawat, to show you this is the situation on the ground. Not a single soul. There's a tension in the atmosphere. Advisory has been issued. People have been asked not to freak out because this will be like inviting danger, because already we have seen that the Al-Qassam brigade of Hamas, they are trying to target civilians. They have already issued a warning that if Israel will not stop bombing, one, they are going to kill people who had been held hostage. Second, they are saying that they are also going to destroy towns like Ashkelon. This is the Ashkelon area. You can see building, but nobody is standing there outside. Not a single person. Normally this area is abuzz with activity, but today you will not find, except for few people, because they are moving towards their respective destination. They are going to their respective places. That's why you can find few cars. But you can see the tension is in air. There's a lot of tension right now.
Now, situation continues to remain tense in Israel. Times Network's Pradeep, who is reporting from Ground Zero, brings us the voices from Ashkelon, which lies close to the Gaza border. Indians living in Israel's war-torn area narrate the horror of October 7 when the war broke out. Let's listen in.
Ever since the conflict has started in Israel, it has only brought in death and destruction. Look at this damaged car. This car was damaged because of the rocket being fired from Gaza side by Hamas terrorists. Many of these cars have been damaged. Right now I'm in Ashkelon area. Ashkelon is the heart of the conflict. We have seen that from day one, this area has been targeted by rockets being fired by Hamas. Let me show you. This is the place where from they are firing rockets. Even right now also you can see smoke billowing out. While I'm talking to you, you can hear the bang of those rocket explosion. Look at the condition of the car, how the splinter has almost pockmarked this car. The rocket came, it exploded here. Look at this. This is not the pipe. You must be thinking this is a pipe. This is basically a rocket. The missile, this is a heavy rocket that was being fired from the Gaza side by Hamas terrorists. They are trying to target civilians. They are basically trying to generate fear psychosis. That is what they have done from day one. Let me show you. Look at this another vehicle also. The damage caused to this vehicle. This is also completely damaged, destroyed. And look at the window glass. Window glass completely shattered. And same is the story of many other vehicles in this area. Not only that, one of the rockets has also hit the building there, and the building has also been damaged. This clearly shows that they are resorting to terrorism. This is a war crime that they are committing, because nothing can be justified. If you start targeting civilian, you start targeting the women and children. That clearly indicates that you are resorting to terrorism. Look at the condition of this car. That narrates the whole story. That narrates the story of death. That narrates the story of destruction. That narrates the story of terror. That narrates the story of tyranny. Look at this car also. This is the front glass. The front glass of this car is completely damaged. And the people who were staying inside, they were completely terrified since morning. And let me talk to some of them. Here we have got the Indians whose house was also targeted. Let me speak to them. Let me hear their side of the story.
4 बजे यहाँ मिसल पर गया यहाँ पर जब सब आवाज़ हुआ और ये गाड़ी आग में लगी और ये आखा बिल्डिंग का इलेक्ट्रिक गया हम बाहर रहते हैं और सब खिड़कियाँ दरवाज़ा सब बन गया. Thank God that we go to the safe room and हमको कुछ नहीं हुआ है.
So there must be a lot of tension in this area. All of you must be terrified because of these rocket attacks.
We are very used to it for a lot of years. We are living like this. And this is the first time you feel this. But now we are in the war. And with the war, it's always like this. We live like this.
So they are trying to generate fear psychosis.
Yes. But now it's a war because the Hamas came into our country and took children, abuse women, kidnap the people to the Gaza.
Very angry because of that.
Yes, because you can't hurt civilians.
Now, Pradeep Datta, my colleague, continues to be on the front line amid the rockets being fired as captured on our camera. Take a look.
The fireballs which you are seeing, these are the rockets being fired from the Gaza side. As you can see, these fireballs are coming towards this area. We should try to stay away. But see, somewhere nearby, these are coming towards this area. And we should not take any chance because it can explode anywhere. And see how they are trying to target civilian areas. This is the situation here. The situation continues to remain tense here. You can see like firecrackers, they're bursting in sky. These are not firecrackers, but these are basically killer rockets being fired by Hamas from the Gaza Strip. They're trying to target areas in the southern Israel. They're trying to target Ashkelon city. They're trying to target civilian areas. And short while back, there was siren sound, and immediately after siren sound, you can see that entire area is being jolted by the explosion of the rocket. In more than 10 rockets have been fired within just 2-3 minutes. They're at regular interval, they're firing rockets, and here you can see like firecrackers, they're bursting on. And then after that, the sound is heard, and you can see the entire area gets jolted because of this rocket explosion. They're trying to target civilians because we have seen that from day one they were trying to inflict the civilian casualty because they know they can't match the might of Israeli army. When you fail to match the might of Israeli army, the best soft target for you always remains the civilian, and that's what exactly they are trying to do. And here you can see whenever the rocket explosions start taking places, this is the place where people try to hide. There's a bomb shelter nearby, and people try to go inside the bomb shelter where they try to save their lives because they had been trying to target civilians. We are trying to generate fear psychosis among the people. There's a story about death, destruction, barbarism, and brutality. And you can see these young boys, they don't even understand the nitty-gritty of politics between Israel and Palestine, but still they are left with no other option but to hide inside these bomb shelters. And short while back also you saw that how the people were left with no other option. So this is the story right now in the southern Israel. That is the story all around, that every time you will hear the sounds of the rockets, and here the situation continues to remain tense because there is no respite in shelling and firing of rockets from Palestinian side, the Hamas side, and that's one of the reasons that Israel has launched a punitive offensive, trying to target all their hideouts, where from these people, like rats, they are targeting civilians, trying to kill them at earliest, pin them down, because that's the only way they feel that peace can be restored. But there are some people who feel that the siege of Gaza needs to end. But one thing more important is that people who are justifying this violence by Hamas, they're also committing a crime, and they're also becoming party to the crime.